Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at WTK. We're going to be looking at the macro view and some potential internals within this. The problem is we don't have a lot of context within this structure, so it is open to interpretation a little bit. So we're going to go over both the bullish and bearish scenario here and what we think can happen within the structures. Okay, so this is the bearish scenario, and basically what we'll be looking for is basically a flat correction for a 2-year. This is a third with an extension in this fifth wave, and then basically looking at this for the potential to actually be a fourth wave and then a continuation to the downside. So the typical area would be looking for travel for a fifth wave would be this 0030 to this 14 area. This would be basically a zone that we could look to moved into. So there's two ways that we can look at this structure. So we can either potentially look at this as a diagonal, and where we move the fourth wave into here, where we look at this slightly different, and this is a 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and that looks to actually complete this into this high point. Or alternatively we leave it here and we just have a zigzag, which is my preferred count, to be honest with you. If it does complete further along here, then we can argue that basically that either we have a bullish structure to the upside, or alternatively that we have started to break down here and actually invalidated by crossing this. So it's possible then that we look at this as a expanding diagonal. So I'm going to go over the option for that diagonal. We could see something play out like this if we actually complete further along here, where this becomes a diagonal pattern, where we have this as basically as a 1 looking for wave 2, 3, 4 and a 5 to the downside. So this is something that could actually look to play out. And if we do look to push up here, what I'd be looking for is potential to find rejection in this zone here of this 50% to the 786. So there is the potential we could see this play to the upside, where this becomes an A, a B and a C. And effectively then what we'd be looking for is potentially moving towards this zone here of this 1 to 1. I'm going to use this current low. So the 1 to 1 would actually only move us back up to this 382, which would be this 125 region. If we do actually get this push to the upside like this, then it's potential, it is possible we could look to extend a little bit higher, maybe hit this 50% here at this 0143. Which would be a 236 to a 1382. But if we do actually push up higher here, then we can argue that we could be looking at an impulsive structure. So we're going to go over the bullish side in a second. But basically what I would want to see is how we react within this zone, because this area here, this 786 to this 50%, could offer us a rejection and a continuation to the downside, where this wave 2 extends out slightly. So we just need to be careful with this move. This is not my preferred count, but this is a possibility that we could see something like this play out, where we actually continue to form these lower lows. But the difference with this to a normal impulse would be looking to complete this as basically 3-wave move. So we can argue that we've completed in here, or we're going to get, like I said, an A, B and a C to the upside. And then what we'd want to see is continuation with another 3-wave move, and then another 3-wave, and then basically that completion. So this would look to push us down. My target area would still be this zone here, though we'd have to see how this plays out, because effectively once we get a wave 3, the wave 5 is shorter, so we can work it out from there. So like I said, this is not my preferred interpretation of it, but it is one of the possibilities. So we're going to just change this over to the 5-wave move. So this, however, does seem to fit a little bit better. If we look at this as a zigzag, because we had a flat, effectively we can argue that we have a diagonal here as a wave 1, 2, and then it is possible that this third wave is completed here. It is also possible that we have an extension here, and the way we would have to look at that would be that within this structure here, we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're actually still in this 5th wave. So that would still put us still in this 3rd wave to the downside. So we need to just give it a bit of time and see how we react. But effectively, the most simple way of looking at this move would actually be to see this as a 4th wave triangle, where this is an A, B, C, D, E, and then actually we're starting to break down now. So we'd be looking for a typical 5th wave to come into this 62 to this 51 area. So if we do move down into this zone, it is possible we can look at this as a completed 5 wave, but we'd have to see how we react. If we do move down, like I said, from here as a, basically we'd have to look at it from this point. This is a 1, 2, looking for that 3, 4, and a 5, and we come down into this zone. We'd have to be careful of this previous 4th wave on the retracement, because it is possible that we could, like I said, have an extension within these waves still, and we're still within this 3rd wave, and then we could look to push lower. So if we do break down, this would be the zone that I'm looking at for that. But once again, if we do get some extensions within these waves, effectively we could argue that we are going to be looking for this lower range of this 30 to this 14 zone. So if we do break down, that's where we'll be going, in my opinion. So we're going to talk about now a more bullish way of looking at this, because we don't have a lot of structure to work with here. Okay, so looking at this move slightly different, where we look at this as an A, B, and a C to this low point, and then potentially looking for either an A, B, C to the upside, in which case we can be potentially looking to form corrective structure to the upside, and that would be looking at this move slightly different, counting this as a 5-wave move with a truncation. I don't really like the structure within here, and it does work better with the zigzag, but for as long as we hold this low point of this 0047, we can argue that we have a 5-wave move here, and that we are looking for a retracement. So we've actually come back into this support zone here, which is this area of this 61 to this 81. Effectively, we don't really want to come much lower than this, otherwise it becomes less likely that we are actually within this structure. But it is possible that we could be completed this move. If I take this from this point here, we have moved down to the 786 of the A wave, so we could potentially be complete here. If we do, however, look to extend a little bit deeper within this, we can argue that we might come down to this 57 area. I'm not really seeing it within the structure. If we move this back here, potentially we can say we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to set one more low here for 5th wave, which is possible. Like I said, 1 to 1 would actually bring us here, but we've actually met the minimum requirement of this C wave, so it is possible that this could actually complete into this low. And the way that I'm looking at it as a possibly completed move would be that we could potentially then look for this as an A, B, and a C to the upside. So this red box area indicates an area we could face rejection if we're going to continue. So we don't have a lot of structure here. Like I said, it is possible that we could even push up all the way towards this 15 cent 46, and then we could look to break down again. So we don't have enough information yet. The only way that we would get better structure here is if we move past this point here, and I'm going to take it off this 5th wave here. If we move past this 13, so this 1327 would indicate to me that we have potential to form a bigger 5-wave move. That would be a typical 5th wave location. So if we do that, effectively we could see something play out like the blue waves that are on screen now, and this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the upside. So this is something that can play out, but we'd have to move up past this 1289 would be the zone that we would need for this 3rd wave. If we do get this 3rd wave, we'd be looking for that 4th wave and a 5th wave to the upside, potentially into this zone here of this 2656 to this 1731. So this would all be relying on holding this area here of this 47, and effectively also holding this support box here. We wouldn't really want to lose this. So the bullish way we can look at this as having a B wave low point over here would be looking at this move potentially as a diagonal. So I'm going to come down here onto the 1 hourly. It does become quite difficult with these smaller cap coins to sort of do Elliott wave, so the wave counting is a bit harder. So the way that I'm looking at this is that this could potentially be a diagonal, where this is a 1, 2, 3. We could have actually set this 4th wave low here now, and we could be looking to actually push up for this 5th wave. And that would be looking at this structure as an A, a B, and a C. So the important thing here between these different options is, if this is the case, we'd want to move back above this high point here of this 107. If we move back above there, then that would invalidate that 5-wave count that we had to the downside, though we would have to be careful because it could always become that diagonal, like I said, where we actually look to push up into that support zone and actually then look to resistance zone, and then actually look to break down again. So you'd have to be careful with that one. But if this is a diagonal, I don't really like putting too much hope on diagonals starting things, because they can also be the start of a corrective structure. But we would be looking for at least a move past this 129. If we move up past this 129, effectively that would then be sufficient to complete this. However, it is possible we could actually look to come and actually retest this channel line if we do, if it wants to. It doesn't have to. All it has to do is be longer than this wave 3, so it can fall short. And then from there, effectively, would be looking to see that we get support again. And I'm going to just go off this 121. If we do move up to this 121, effectively, we'd be looking for support to come back in at this 50% all the way to the 786, which would be this 95 to this 81 zone. If we do find support within here, then we could actually look for a bigger move to the upside, where all of this becomes a wave 1. Oh, that's the wrong button. Where all of this becomes a wave 1, we come back down for a 2, we look to push up for a 3, 4, and a 5. So this is just something that can play out. I don't think it's most necessarily the my favorite option. It's just an option that is available. For as long as we hold this 71 zone, we can argue we have something like this playing out, but we have to just be careful that this isn't just a triangle in that fourth wave, like we said, where that's an A, B, C, D, and an E. Sorry, yeah, and then E, and then we actually look to break down with a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So if this continues to break down and takes out this 71 zone, I do think that it's more likely we're within that 5-wave move. But if it does hold this and we actually do see some impulsive movement to the upside, like I said, it's possible that we could actually have this as a diagonal, where this wave 5 comes up here past this wave 3 high, and then basically completes, we find that retracement, and then we look to push up one more time. Okay, so we're going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. This was a community request, so if you do have any requests, drop them down there and we'll get around to them as soon as we can, obviously time permitting. But yeah, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. Also, in the description below, you'll find a link to the Discord. Why not check it out? It is free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Also, in the description below, you'll find referral links to BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges in our opinion. We use them all the time for our trades, and we do really rate them. They are really good, and they do have deposit bonus, which you can find on the website, more information about it. But yes, using the affiliate link helps the team out, so we do appreciate it if you don't have an account and you use that link. Okay, everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.